trying to keep my videos at 10 minutes. This is part 2 of the video. I might have got clipped off, but anyways, what I was saying is that you could go on Amazon for 50 bucks. But what I will say is if you live in an area like I do, you're probably going to get a low degree of success. So you can see this guy, this little tiny thing in his hand, right? I use one of these around the house, which I put an earlier video out on. But that talks to my node that's 75 feet up to get me into the larger network. So just keep that in mind. Unless you live in some sort of heavy population density apartment building, one of these might not be great for you. Now, you get a couple of these and you give them to your family, right? And this is something being into radios my entire life is that, non-radio people don't want to use Bofangs and walkie-talkies. And I've looked at all these different angles and how to get non-radio people. They don't want to use it. They don't use it correctly. Well, non-radio people know how to use a smartphone. You go into an area where there's poor cellular coverage, for example, or an area where there's cellular congestion, where the network is unreliable. These things, 50 bucks a pop, right? You hand a couple of these to people in your group. They simply Bluetooth their phone. Everyone knows how to Bluetooth something. The non-radio people can do a Bluetooth, right? And then you put the app on their phone. If you've ever used WhatsApp, the app is really not much different than WhatsApp. Setting some of the encryption and privacy controls, but there's a really cool feature. You could set your phone up with like your programming, and radio people, especially people in their Motorola's, will like this. Let me see if I can find it real quick for you guys. A picture. So you say you get your phone all set up, and you have it all set up with the encryption, the location sharing, and you want to get everyone, as we like to say, of course it's not going to come up. Oh boy, how can we do this? Must be under configuration. Radio config. Well, what I'm getting at, and I'm going to try to find it. There is a way you can put a QR code once your phone is all set up and you have it with all the channels you want. And say you get a group of people and you say, all right, download the Mestastic app, right? And they download it and they're like, okay, great, you got this app. What do I do with it, right? You pull up a QR code on your phone and they all snap a picture of that. It automatically programs the app with your programming. So you've instantly taken a group of people, you've all put them on the same channel, let's say. So this is something I've always struggled with. Like I was like, man, I'd really like to have a set of encrypted radios, and I was looking at Motorola's. Well, you gotta have a goddamn keyloader, and you gotta have all this programming gear, and then you gotta so on the fly in the field, you want to set a group of people up. They already know how to Bluetooth. They already know how QR codes work, right? You can rapidly set people up with ubiquitous common off-the-shelf equipment. No stupid Motorola licenses that need to be bought and stupid Motorola cables. Now, I'm not bagging on Motorola, but the point I'm making is that trying to get non-radio people to use this stuff. And then once they're set up, you can set up a group chat, you can private message. It's all encrypted. And now let's say you're at a large festival and there's other people there, like a big fair or like a NASCAR event. You may not be talking to people, but all the devices will hop the information. So say you can't talk to a person on the other side of an arena directly, but there's people in between you. When you send that message, it'll hop between other people's nodes. They won't be able to see your traffic because of the AES-256 encryption. They won't have your key. Only the person you're talking to is going to have your key. So you're able to leverage other nodes in the area or other people in your group. So say you have a bunch of people in your group and you're all dispersed, and you'll be able to talk to the person on the farthest edge of the group. So you could use these hiking in areas where there's no cellular signal. So I guess what I'm getting at is that I've been fairly impressed. Fortunately, I was going to try to find that QR code for you guys, and it's not coming up like I'd hoped. I typed in QR code and I was looking for a good picture of it, but I guess we all know what a QR code is, right? But there's a way to do it in the app. I was just looking to see here in the. Let's see. Does it bring up a picture of it? No, it's really not. I'm sure if I'd planned this a little bit better before I started the video, I could have gotten it for you guys. But the point I'm making is that you try to hand out a handful of Bofangs to people in your family or friends at an event, and a lot of them aren't really going to want to use it because they feel goofy talking into a radio, right? Everyone's talking into their cell phone, right? So people will be more comfortable to use this as a communications platform because non-radio people are already using it. So I just wanted, some of you may already know this, and you're like, but I may have some people that are in my circle of the radio world that are not familiar with Mestastic. So doesn't mean that I think that, or I think I'm selling my CB radio equipment. That's the farthest thing from the truth. Or telling people that this is better, get rid of everything. If anyone on here is telling you to do that, immediately flip past the video. I'm just saying that this is a communications option that I think has a lot of value. I think getting non-radio people to use it, there's a lot of upsides to this, I guess is what I'm getting at. Inexpensive. The only cables that you use are just USB-C cables. There's no special cables, no special software licenses that you have to buy to use this. It's just common, ubiquitous, inexpensive equipment. People that are not radio people can figure it out quickly because it exists in an ecosphere that people are already habitualized to, which is the smartphone. You could probably throw one of these to a young kid and they could figure it out in a couple seconds. And, essentially, you throw one of these devices, like, here's one here, the Sense Cap, right? You can see here in the picture how big it is. It fits in the palm of your hand. So you could have a group of people using these. You could use these as a neighborhood watch in your neighborhood, creating a mesh network. And the beauty of it is that as long as you have, more than 2 people in your network, the more people you have, the wider your network can get. So I guess I'll wrap this video up to say that, people are saying, what kind of range? It's very dependent on who's in your mesh network. I can tell you, living here in Maine, I'm getting about 20 to 30 miles of range. Pretty impressive when you consider we're talking about a 900 megahertz radio that's putting on 1/4 of a watt. Now, mind you, as I sit right here, right now, when I look at the mesh network on my phone, how many people are online? Hold on, I'll bring it up. I have 6 people in my network right now, in my mesh network. So when I send out a message, so the farthest node right now in my network is about 21 miles away, and they're down in Portland, and I can talk to them. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about this and show you guys. So anyways, thanks for watching these 2 videos. Take care.